Why don't you help me giving Mike Rose Jr. big round of applause.
It might seem crazy what I'm about to say. Sunshine, she's here, you can take a break.
He swam longer than 5 minutes. It was more like 6.
There you go.
All right. Guys, open the door. Quick, open the door. All right, I got the tree. It's 13 feet this year. You just got to open the door. I'm going to bring the tree in, and everything's going to be good. Okay, Jeremy, you stand right there. You hold that door. Here we go. All right. Okay, here we go. I'm coming in. Mikey, what are you doing? The pig's on the front step. He's going to get inside the house. Wait, what? The pig on the front step? No, I got the tree right now. Wife, Faith, give me a second here. All right, I'm coming. All right, Michael, listen, I need your help. Come on over here. I'm gonna twist the tree, and I need you on the end. Daddy, I can't right now. Daddy, I just looked out the door, and the dog has a chicken in its mouth, and he's chasing a goat. What? Just give me a second. I'll deal with that in a second. All right, okay, I'll do it myself. Here we go. Kaylee, get out of the Christmas tree stand. Kaylee, that's not a stage. All right, okay, thank you. All right, here we go. All right, I'm about to get it up. Who's on my leg? Who's pulling my leg? Stop, please stop pulling my leg. Looks a little crooked. Dad. Oh, Ben, why do you have brown all over your face? Hold on. Dad, wipe, poop. Ben, give me a second. It looks a little crooked still. Dad, wipe. But, okay, let me back away. All right. Daddy! What? Did you just say dad? Did you just say dad? Oh, yeah, that was the tree just down. Ben, did you just say daddy? Daddy. It was the most beautiful experience, and that was my Sunday. That's exactly how my Sunday went. The pig did drink out of the toilet bowl. Everything went exactly as I gave it. However, my 2-year-old, in the midst of his garbage, literally covered in poo, in the midst of his garbage, called out to me, his daddy, and said, Daddy. And everything stopped. The world stopped when he said, Daddy. I got to tell you, the joy that I had, the ability that I had to just kind of step aside in that moment was tremendous. And I can't help but think about the joy that the Father experiences when we call out to him and say, Daddy. The word daddy, it has so much connotations, right? Reckless, crazy, stupid abandon, total abandon. It assumes such a way that we just totally let everything down and run. My daughter's like that. My daughter Kaylee, she's 3. She's crazy, stupid, reckless abandon type of stuff, right? She'll sit there 1 second, she'll be crawling on the floor, smacking the ground, kicking her legs, crying at the top of her lungs. The next moment, run over to me, Daddy, I love you. I'm like, schizophrenia? Maybe? What the heck? Daddy. And that's exactly the way that God had inspired it to be. From the beginning, God said, call me Abba, Daddy. Daddy. Yet it wasn't supposed to be like that. That's the way it was in the beginning. But likewise, I ask you right now, think about the saddest moment in history. Time where Daddy was thrown out the window. And instead, Genesis 3:8, the man and the wife heard the sound of the Lord in the world amongst their midst. They heard the sound of their daddy. They heard the sound of their daddy, and guess what they did? This is stupid. They hid themselves. They ran and they hid themselves. They heard the sound of their daddy and they hid themselves. Amongst the chaos, amongst the garbage, amongst everything that they knew and felt sort of comfortable around, they kind of let themselves be covered in poo instead of calling out on their daddy. So what did their daddy have to do? He yells out, "Where are you?" I'll tell you right now, I could cry at the sound of those three words. Where are you? Where are you? You know, ever since that moment, we, as his children, have been begging for some type of glimpse, some type of resemblance, some small little way to experience our daddy in everything around us. And we fail miserably. The saddest moment in history. And we as leaders, we got to come across that often. We got to come across that poo, that garbage, pretty often. And I don't just say that because I got 3 kids in diapers right now. I come across it in everything I do as a leader in my business. Yet it's not supposed to be that way. It wasn't that way from the beginning. For in the beginning, Romans 8:15 says, "For you have not been given a spirit of fear, of cowardice," right? Of shaking, of concern, of being wrapped in the chaos. You weren't given a spirit of fear. No. You were not given a spirit of fear. Well, this is easy, but of what? Well, fear, the opposite of fear is what? Courage. Some Wizard of Oz action, right? Courage, Cowardly Lion. He needed courage. Nope. Oh, I know. You weren't given a spirit of fear. You were given a spirit of strength. Yeah, that's it, right? I know. This one's easy. Take a message from John Lennon. You weren't given a spirit of fear, but of love, because love is all you need, right? Yes? Nah. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. You are wrong. In fact, you were not given a spirit of fear, but of sonship, daughterhood. But wait, sonship? Sonship. Yeah. Why? Because you were created in the image of him, to be loved by him, to love like him. We were made in the image of him. And therefore, we're in a position right now where we've got to look forward, to understand that we were not given a spirit of fear, but of sonship, to be in relationship with him himself. And therefore, I propose that we get back to the point. We're at a leadership summit, right? We're here at a leadership conference learning about how we're going to lead our team to be the greatest, to reach the pinnacle, to be the top of the world. Well, guess what? That will not happen. It's not going to happen. I promise you, I guarantee you, it will not happen if we are not first led. Because you cannot lead if you're not being led. We were given a spirit of sonship. I'm just following what he said. A spirit of sonship. So I got to be led. I got to look up. I got to look up in total abandon and yell out, "Daddy," when necessary or at all times, when I need to, or when I don't want to, or when I didn't even think about it. I've got to look up. And that might be difficult for some of us. It might be really difficult for me to speak about fatherhood when I talk about leadership. It might be difficult for us to kind of relate to a father who actually cares about us, who actually would totally and completely give of himself. It might be pretty difficult, maybe because our fathers are gone. Maybe they died. Maybe they left us. Maybe they weren't the perfect example of fatherhood to us that we needed. And maybe the thought of God being a father hurts us. It's painful. And I understand that. But I'm going to share with you a study that was done. And this study proved that within the mother and the child relationship, there's a hormone, a drug. It's called oxytocin. This drug is ridiculous. It will bond the child to the mother in a tremendous way. Totally, completely bond. It happens when the baby's in utero, in the mother's womb. This hormone, this drug is given off to the mother. It happens when the mother's nursing. It happens when the baby is crying. This drug is just given to this mother. This hormone connects the two. I would propose waking up at 3 o'clock in the morning every night, that it's probably because the mother's going to go crazy if she keeps listening to this crying over and over again like I do. I'm like, shut the baby up already. And she's like, oh, it's okay. It's all right. She's able to look past it. I can't. I'm like, I need to go to work in the morning. Can you please shut the baby up or go in the other room? You see, because for me, it's not a drug. As men, it's not a drug. The father does not automatically bond with the child. Instead, the father has to make a choice, a decision to choose to love that child. And that desire by that child, that's the reason why we want it so much. Because it's not given automatically. We want that encouragement. We want that affirmation. We want it. We desire it. We live for it. And guess what? Our fathers have the choice to give it. So when we look at this world and we look at the people that we're leading, we've got to recognize who we're leading. A lot of these people are broken. A lot of these people are hurting. A lot of these people don't have what it takes to get through life, never mind what it takes to get through this business. So as a leader, I got to be there for them. I got to understand that. I have to relate to that. And the only way I can do that is if I first look up. You know, in art, in architecture, artists will use shadow and darkness to kind of bring about a reality so that we can see perception. And I want to show you something that's got a lot of shadows, some light as well in something. So I'm going to show you a video real quick. You know, I talked about some shadows and darkness. That's one of the darkness, right? How come you don't want me? I could learn how to play basketball without him. I got pretty good at it, and I'll do it again, right? That's a shadow. I'm going to be a better father than he ever was. That's a shadow, right? Yes? No. No. Don't believe that lie. You see, as leaders, we've got to see past that lie. That's not a shadow. That's not a darkness. We're not going to let ourselves fall for that. Why? Because we're looking up. We're looking up, not around. If I look to what he did wrong, if I look to everything that he's done wrong in the past, guess what? I got a pretty poor example of what I'm going to have to do. Instead, I'm going to look up. My father taught me that. The year was 2003, January 2nd. We just had his birthday. It was his birthday. And we had a birthday party for him. And the party ended. We sat down, came back after the house, and he wasn't very happy. He wasn't smiling. I said, Dad, what's wrong? He said, Mike, I did it. I've had this goal to do and be better than my father. And I did it. You could let Teddy's introduction kind of direct where you think his father went and the decisions that he made. He made some bad decisions in life, spent a lot of time away from my father. And my father said, hey, listen, I'm going to do better than he did. I'm going to make decisions that are going to make sure I'm there for my kids, unlike him. I'm going to give my family a legacy that is amazing, unlike him. I worked to better my life for my kids and myself, my whole life, and I did it. Now what do I do? My father taught me that day that I got to look up. It's great for the example that he's given me. I'm thankful for that. And I love him, and I appreciate the role model that he is and the pioneer that he is in this business. But I've got to look up to the Father who knows me better than anybody in the world. Because if I am not first led, I cannot lead. And so, as it relates to our business, I saw that occur too. We had a gentleman by the name of Dave come into our business in about 2004, 2005. And he came into our business, and he saw Gloria Mora, right? Some of you guys know her name. And she was lighting it up, $25,000 a week. And Dave said, hey, I want to do that. I'm going to knock that girl out of the park. I'm going to hit that number. It's going to be awesome. And within 13 months, he did it. The guy wrote $600,000 a year, in 1 year, on final expense. $600 to $700 premium per sale, right? Some of you guys are able to do that as well. And I don't mean to demean that at all. I'm certain that you can. But this guy focused on that number. I got to hit and meet what Gloria did. Within 3 years, he was bored of the business, left. If we're not looking up to higher standards, to a larger picture, it doesn't matter. We've got to look up. You know, growing up in this business, I've done a lot of looking up. You know, Daniel might be the only person here that could relate to the fact that I had to give up my bedroom constantly for other members of this business. You know, I'd lose my bed constantly because Rick and Pat Habishaw were in, or Uncle Walt Roberts was coming, so I got to sleep on the floor again. You know, and as I look around this room right now, I look up to so many of you as like a big brother, if you will. You know, all but Wade. I don't see, where is he? Where's Wade? I'm not looking up to you, Wade, because I know the second that you see me, and I've been avoiding you all morning, you're going to offer me the dip. That stuff that made me worship the porcelain potty in the gazebo. I won't be looking up to you. No, I'm just kidding. That was my first experience of Mississippi was, oh, you got to do this dip stuff. And the room still, as soon as I land in Jackson Airport, the room just starts spinning. It's ridiculous. But I look up to people, to so many of you in this room, to Scott, to Scotty, to Lee, it would be unfair to reach out to say each of your names, but Eric and Benji, and you know, and Jamie, Richard, Brandon, Steve. You know, you guys have seen and experienced at such a high level of production, and I look up to you when I'm around you. I look up to the experience that you continue to provide to me. And I look up to Rick, right, Habishaw, and I say, okay, that's who I want to be. And when he comes over to me right before the talk, he says, dude, you look like crap. You're nervous as anything. What the heck's wrong with you? Yeah, thanks, big bro. Appreciate that pat on the back. You know, look up. Well, the fact is, they're going to let us down. As much as I look up to you guys, you're going to let me down. In some way, shape, or form, you are going to let me down. Maybe not Cousin Glanton, but everybody else. I'm just kidding. You know, at the end of the day, it's not your job to be my leader. It's not your job to direct me that way. Yes, you are an example. Yes, I want to see in myself things that I see in you. But if I am not first and foremost focused on looking up, I will fail. And this next video kind of explains that in a deeper way. Oh, I forgot also. I left one part out. That would be a weird picture if I didn't explain it. I look up to Teddy, but not his father, okay? I know it's great to have him here, but don't forget, when he gets here later, don't forget what he did to Hulk. You Hulkamaniacs out there, don't forget how he treated Hulk so many times in WrestleMania 3 and 4, all right? I forgot that part. Now we can go to the video. Relationships. Two fathers of Kelly Clarkson, American Idol, right? Two fathers. Her relationship with her father at the age of 6. I didn't have anything you wanted, so I was worthless. And then you came back and asked me for money when I was older. Her second father, her foster father, You taught me a man can be kind and a man can stay. And finally, her father, her husband, who was the father of her preborn child. He's not going to leave her. He's going to be there for her. He's not going anywhere. And guess what? He taught me a man, a leader, can be great. Dude, that's crazy. Think about that. A man can be great. A leader can be great. He taught me a leader can be great. You know, as we go through this leadership experience, as we continue to learn more and more about who we are as leaders, I got to tell you, you can be great. You can be great. I can be great. Man, I'm excited. Why can I be great? Because I was created in His image. I was created to be a father by looking up. If I continue to measure all of this, I'm not going to find it. I'm not going to find the greatness. I'm going to find examples of it. I'm going to find mirrors of it. I'm going to find ways to see it in my life, how I can put that into action, but I'm not going to find the greatness. I got to look to Him. And so, you know, when we were at the Jury Inn, I guess it was about 1.5 years ago, Derek Moore challenged us to look at this, to look at the leaders that we go to, the people that we see as, hey, Derek, how you doing? You know, it's funny because I got to just say, Scotty, David, thank you for putting me in front of him. I think it was Winston Churchill that actually said it. Winston Churchill said something that said, there's only 2 things that are harder than giving a talk after Derek Moore. I think it was climbing a wall that's leaning towards you and kissing a girl that's leaning away from you. I'm pretty sure that was Winston Churchill that said that. And you know, as he challenged us to look to our fathers, and I kind of felt like he was talking to me specifically in that conference. And I went and I got out of that, I went outside the Jury Inn, I called my father and said, Dad, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, I put you on this pedestal of perfection. I put you on this pedestal of you being the perfect leader that I had to live up to. I'm sorry that I did that to you. I'm sorry that I expected perfection out of you. I was wrong. I focused on all of your weaknesses. I focused on all the areas that maybe you might have failed instead of looking at all the things you did. And I should have been looking at my Father. I should have been looking up instead of looking away. I should have been looking up to see greatness in Him, and then I would have seen it in you. And I broke down, and I'm like just whimpering in the middle of the parking lot of the Jury Inn. Embarrassed myself completely when I was walking back in trying to fix myself up. About 2 hours later, I left this message for my dad. 2 hours later, he calls me, and I couldn't pick up. He goes to voicemail. He says, Mike, I just got your message. I've been there. I did the same thing to my father. I did the same thing to my mother. And it's all good. You see, my father is an amazingly encouraging person. That day, he taught me what compassion is. You know, I was just telling my son, the word compassion, it means to suffer with. The word C-O-M, with, right? The word passion means suffer. I-O-N, the act of suffering with. He taught me what it means to go through that pain, to go through that hurt, and to be able to suffer with in that moment. And I'm ever more thankful because of it. Because he taught me to understand that I've got to totally abandon to the Father in order to get there, to see greatness. And so I'm going to take just a couple minutes real fast for us to give an opportunity for us to look at ourselves right now, to be able to look inside and to consider, where are we at? It's okay to look around. I'm not saying don't look around, because we have some tremendous examples of leadership in this room. And actually, one of the people in this room, Mr. Don Howe, shared a book with me. The name of the book was called The 5 Levels of Leadership by John Maxwell. And he mailed it to me about 5 years ago. And in the front cover, he said, Mike, I want you to use this to become the leader that you are. And I'm going to encourage you right now to grab your cell phones real quickly. You know how we play at Diversified. Us Jersey boys always use Kahoot. It's just something that keeps us interactive, and we kind of play around a little bit. So I'm going to ask you to go right now to getakahoot.com. Getakahoot.com. getkahoot.it. Open up your browser, getkahoot.it. GETKAHOOT.it. And you're going to begin to play. You guys could roll through that part, hit play. Go start now. And we're going to hit classic. And now I'm going to invite each of you to, here we go. I'm going to ask each of you, as you get to get.kahoot.it, Kahoot.it can get you there as well, I believe. If you grab your cell phone, everybody, is anybody there already? Just so I know we're interacting a little. We're good? I guess that's a no. No, Wade, I don't want any dip. No, thank you. Jeez. Getkahoot.it. Anybody on there yet? Kahoot.it. Anybody? Yes? Okay, good. It's working. All right, here we got some in. 11, 12. All right, the number is 224-611. All right, it's just hard to keep things going. Okay. Look, we're not going to do a quiz in regards to showing a winner this time. What we're going to be using this for is for personal introspection, for a personal assessment of where we are as we begin this day, using the 5 levels of leadership. I've kind of abbreviated it a little bit, but there's 25 quicks, boom, boom, boom. They take about 10 seconds each. I'm going to make a statement, and you on your phone are either going to type true or false. We're going to figure out where we are on the 5 levels of leadership, and we're going to talk about them very briefly right afterwards. So we're almost there. And I'm going to propose to you that if you don't have all 5 in a category, you're not on that level yet. So I'll tell you as we go along which level is which, and we'll kind of go through that way. But if we're not able to say yes, 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 or true, 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 we're not really maximizing that level. And essentially, we're working at the lowest level that we have all 5. So maybe some of us might not even be at the first level, which is fine, because I find myself struggling to get there. All right, we're going to start in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and here we go. You could give that music in the background. I think there's some music to the site if it's possible, or just, all right. The first, I don't have to remind the people who work for me that I'm the leader. True or false? I don't have to remind the people that work for me that I'm the leader. Okay, these are the first 5. It has to deal with position. The level of leadership dealing with position. Okay, next. 77 said I do, I don't. The others say no. Go. I think of each person who works for me as an individual person, not just his or her function. $109. Excellent. These are part of the position level. Next. I recognize the position I've been given is an opportunity to learn, not turf that I must guard and keep people away from. All right. 125. Excellent. Excellent. Let's move on. I think of work to be accomplished and give little focus on career path and positions. So I focus on what I've got to get done, not who I stand in my title. $91 to $40. Oh, okay, so we came down a little bit. Next. So, number 5, most people find it easy to work with me. That's probably a question that somebody else should be answering for you. All right, don't hit next yet. Okay, so look, here's the deal. If you got all 5 of those, then you've surpassed the level of position, okay? You're not a leader that leads from the ability that I have the right to lead you, because you have to lead me because it's my job to lead you. I'm sorry, you have to follow me because it's my job to lead you. The next level talks about people leading or following somebody because they want to. Let's go. Next. I genuinely think like most people and want to help them. I think like most people and want to help them. All right, we got 119. Next one. When I say something to my team, they know it's gospel truth. They can count on it. (126 to 118). See, this is all about the relationships that we're forming. We're not focused on what we gain, but what we're building. Next. The people who work with me find me pleasant 100% of the time. Notice the 100, not 99, not 97, 100. All right, here we go. Oh! Things changed a little bit there. 36 liars, what you said. Next. When I need to have a conversation with team members to correct them, I do it and I don't wait. Man, I fail there big time. I do it and I do not wait. Kind of even. Next. I'm very consistent and even-tempered in my interaction with my team. Very consistent and even-tempered, even-keeled. They don't see me wave, bipolar, like my daughter, Kaylee. All right, 116 verses 28. So that's level 10. So it's all about the relationships. If you've gotten all 5 of those, you're working at a level of permission, yes. Level of permission there. So they're following you because they want to. Let's go on to the next one. I consistently hit targets and goals in my work. This one's about production, guys. Do you get the results that you aim for? When I work, you see it. You don't just think you're going to see it, you see it in action. $90 to $42. Okay, go. Please. People see me as an expert in my field and seek me out to learn more. All right, 111 to 126. Next one. I am known as a problem solver, and I often get difficult tasks done. People come to me because they know I'm going to get it done. It's all about production and results in this level. Have you proven it? Have you walked the talk? Okay. 132 to 12. And next one. Good people always want to work with me and my team. Others look for me. I kind of stand out because of where I am in my position and the results I proved. 119 to 15, got it. Next. I'm comfortable with the idea that others are watching how I perform and follow my example. So I'm not working in a box. People can see me. So here's the production level, right? 126 to 8. If you got all 5 of those questions right, you're working at the level of production. People see results in you, and they're following you because of what you've done for the organization. The next is the people development level. Let's move on. I follow through with training and development on my team on a regular, consistent basis. I follow through. I don't just say it, but they see me put it in action and do it with them. 96 to 32. So next. So we kind of fell off a little bit. When deadlines loom, we never cancel our training and development sessions. No matter what, that's most important. So we do not take that away because I'm developing these people. I recognize that I'm going to lose production for the day, but I'm developing a new person. And that's what leads and directs me. 90 to 23. This is going to be able to culminate who we are as an organization in a minute. Yep, next. I consistently take risks by giving people responsibilities that will stretch them. That's got to be tough for some of us as leaders, because if we give it to them, then they might not do it right when I could have done it right. Level forward. Okay, next. All right? I'm continually giving people feedback, not just during training reviews. So they don't see me just once a year or once every quarter, but I'm constantly in front of them providing help. And the last one of this level. My team is considered by others to be the best, or one of the best trained. Maybe not in production, but in training. Notice how results have to come before the training, though. 115 to 16, excellent. Okay, now we're the last phase. This is the pinnacle. People are following you because of who you are and what you represent. I can name specific people whom I've encouraged to speak hard truths to me, and they do. I don't live in a world that's just me. I seek it out in others. Next one, 110 to 12. I have developed many leaders who are developers of leaders. I've become a leader breeder. All right. Ooh, it's even. Next, I can name at least one person who would be ready to step in and take my place today if I were to leave. One person. $73 to $15. All right. Next. I have influence outside of my team. I love how John Maxwell talks about how it's not just about this team. You've got to be able to reach out if you want to be at the pinnacle. You've got to influence multiple people, multiple levels. All right. What do we got? 125 to 12. Excellent. Last one. I enjoy the interaction of a small circle of leaders I am taking the leadership journey with. So you're kind of working with somebody else. You're not alone. Okay, next. So, at the end of the day, we can understand that maybe we're a little lower than we had expected, maybe we're a little higher than we had expected. And I encourage you to read that book. It goes into the details, and one of the things it does is it talks about the laws of each one of these levels. It talks about things that are absolutely common across the board in all of the leaders that lead from position, all of the leaders that lead from permission, all the leaders that lead from production, and says these are common, so you better make sure that you're doing it. And so I'm going to quickly just encourage you, if you find yourself at the position level, you can go to the next one. Consider the law of the lid. The law of the lid says if I keep jumping up and down, I'm going to hit that lid. I can't go any further when I'm sitting in the glass. So I've got to get a bigger glass so I can jump higher. The law of process says, listen, this is about a journey. It's going to happen day to day to day to day. It's not happening in one day. You're not going to be a pinnacle leader in one day. It also says we need navigation. It's easy for us to be able to just drive a car. Anybody could do it. But without a GPS, we're not getting where we want to go. So that's all about position. The next one is relationships. It's about law of influence. The law of influence says you're not a leader unless you're influencing somebody. It's as simple as that. The law of addition, that you can't, if you're not adding value to the person you're leading, you're not leading them. If they have nothing that they can gain from what you're doing, they're not going to gain anything. The law of solid ground means you've got to build on trust. You've got to work with trust as the foundation, and then you can work from there. The law of magnetism. Birds of a feather flock together, right? We kind of hang together when we want to be this way so we can continue to grow. And they've got to buy in. You've got to buy into a vision. You've got to be able to see what the vision is and totally and completely surrender and abandon to it. I love how the pinnacle of these levels keeps making us look up to the next level. Because ultimately, where are we looking to? To Him, to the Father, to our Daddy, crying out, Daddy, I can't do it alone. This is tough. If we're honest with ourselves, we got a lot of work to do. None of this is easy, I assure you. But we got to keep looking up so we could see it in Him and replicate it amongst us. The law of production is about the law of respect. Naturally, we follow leaders stronger than ourselves. We're going to lead to somebody that's stronger than us. People do what people see is the law of picture. If I'm not doing it, if you don't see it in me, you're not going to follow me. The law of victory, we've got to find a way to win. No matter what, you win. Leaders win. They get results. You can't talk about it, you've got to make it happen. The law of momentum, the big Mo, right? Momentum. It's our best friend. As we continue to grow, we continue to gain it. The law of priorities. Oftentimes we think as being a leader, as leading our teams, we can just do this, but actually, activity is most important. And the law of buy-in. Sacrifice we have to give up to go up and buy in the vision. These last two I'm going to quickly go through. The inner circle, the law of the inner circle in people development. We've got to look to other people. We've got to be empowering other people to be able to do it. And we've got to be able to lead leaders so we can have that explosive growth that we're looking for. And finally, law of intuition. I think as you look at the leaders in this organization, you can understand this even more. The law of intuition says the hardest, most difficult part of leadership is that you have an idea, you can see insight into something without ever knowing all the numbers. You can see where this is going without having to detail every single question. I heard Scotty say it for the first time 3 years ago. Paralysis by analysis. He understands the law of intuition. He doesn't just get caught up on all the little things. He's able to see it and make a decision. The law of timing. We have to know when to lead and when not to lead. And finally, the law of legacy. We need to create a legacy that will last forever. As we look at ourselves, I encourage you to share with somebody what level you're at. At the end of this, I'm going to ask you to share with the person to your left where you're at and what is going to get you to the next level. Where are you right now? Which level are you at right now? And what do you need to focus on to get to the next level? Finally, in the back of the church today, there's a little bowl, and they have these googly eyes. My kids thought they were funny. I left my phone in the back. My kids thought they were funny as I was cutting them up in the back yesterday at home. There's a basket of them. I'm going to encourage you to take them. Take one, take two. Put it on your cell phone. As you're looking down at your cell phone each day, right? You're getting caught up in the chaos, getting caught up in the world, getting caught up in what's around you, getting caught up in all the junk, in the poo, right? Yet that one eye, that googly eye, is looking straight up. That googly eye is reminding us. And I put that thing on my phone, and it's helped me so much to either stop in prayer or maybe just to stop for a second and be like, okay, are my actions creating a leader around me? Because I'm seeking a pinnacle level. I'm seeking to build leaders and a legacy like nothing before because I'm excited to be great, and I want to do it. And I encourage each of you to desire that in yourself. So use that googly eye. Put it on your phone. Every time you're looking down, it's looking up. And it reminds us we've got to keep our eyes up in order to get there. Thank you so much for your time. I'm so humbled to be a part of this day, and I really appreciate your attention. Thank you.